Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for Bitcoin price prediction based on Elliott Wave analysis. This is a Sunday, a weekend, a very slow price action for yesterday and for today as usual. So before I start, I just want to warn you guys about the comments. There is many scammers that they try to trap you in the comments of this channel and any crypto channel, by the way. I always try to delete those scammers. Somehow yesterday, of course, there were like a huge campaign on the channel here on the deep analysis video. However, all the comment has been deleted. I was not able to be online yesterday. I was outside, so when I came back, I saw a lot of scamming comments. So be careful, guys. I just want to warn you that don't reply to these people or try to answer them, or that they bring you to somewhere that they start to try to steal your portfolio or something like this. So let's start on the weekly. On the weekly, we have a bullish scenario here where we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Right? We are looking for a wave 5 towards the upside, which we are still looking for since the last bottom of the wave 4. The wave 4 has bottomed on perfectly on the 0.5 fib level, which is a perfect fib level for a wave 4. After this, we are looking for a 1, 2, and possibly another 1, 2, and then continuation towards the upside. Now, it is very possible that this is a double 1, 2 even, as we saw in our 1 hour chart possibilities. So it could be, of course, we have to watch what happens from today night, of course, when the price actions start to move a little bit again faster. So what I want to mention here that our acceleration channel or base channel of this impulse is working very good. Looking at the price action, testing this channel, the midline of it, and then pulling up again. As well for the correction channel, the wave 4 is still respecting perfectly, of course, this channel, which is very good to see it. Now, one more thing I would like to mention is that the deceleration channel here, where it works, of course, as a channel where your wave 5 should range around, right? And we see here this rejection is working so good with this channel where we have hit exactly the channel line where it should work as kind of a resistance, right? So we want to see a 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and a 5, right? Or the wave 5 should range around this channel, right? Now, of course, if we have a very strong trend, it can re-enter the channel, but it cannot break it, of course, towards the upside. It's very, very rare, of course. Normally, it should range even outside this channel somehow like this. And this is working so nicely for the wave 1 and 2, or even here 1, 2, 1, 2. It's working so perfect with a channel line, how we want to see the wave 5 working with it, of course. So that is a nice signal and give more possibility, of course, for the bullish scenario towards the 100K, right? Once we, of course, break this blue line channel towards the downside and we break this 0.5 fib level, then, of course, we are in a bearish scenario where, of course, possibly we are looking to 1, 2 here, to a finished 1. And then a wave 2 with ABC, and then we are moving towards the downside, of course, as I mentioned, for an ABC scenario where we can see here 3 waves down, 3 waves up, and then you want to see 5 waves down for a regular flat ABC. However, this scenario has very low possibility, knowing that we are still very far from the point, the reversal point, right? First, we need to break this channel. Second, break this fib level. And then, of course, to say that we might be in a bearish scenario, right? So we are still very, very far. We are much more closer still for a bullish scenario for a wave 5 towards the upside, towards the 100K. So this is regarding, of course, the big scenarios that we are looking for. Yesterday I have mentioned, of course, that this point is very, very critical, and because this video is specialized also for an analysis with indicators, I would like to show you what I mean, why this point is very, very critical and very strong as buying point. So here on my own indicator that I have developed, we can see this indicator, by the way, calculate the volume between sellers and buyers live, like even on the 1 minute chart. So even if we go here on the daily chart, you can see our last impulse where we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. In this impulse, we can see the only buying point, the strongest buying point for this impulse has started here in November 2022, right? Where we can see a very, very strong buying point. And since then, the sellers tried, of course, to break these buyers, right? These buyers are very, very strong, right? Therefore, the impulse was very, very strong as well. Of course, there was some buying over here, but they were not so strong much as this point here, right? Those buyers. So definitely there is a huge amount of volume of buyers here, starting of course at the 15,000, right, exactly for Bitcoin, and then moving up massively towards upside. Now, of course, a lot of sellers try to get in, definitely during an impulse. This is a psychology. After the traders feel, okay, this is a very strong trend towards the upside, it's time to go down, right? So therefore you see some sellers, and then more buyers comes in over those who did not sold yet, and then move up again. More sellers comes in until they could stop this impulse, right? In this point exactly. Now, this point, which I always mark here, and I say that this is the most strongest buying point since the start of this impulse, right? Since the start of this impulse, we have seen only sellers until they could stop this impulse, and we start to range, right? Until here, that point where we see a very, very strong buying point since that time, and exactly since 174 days, which it means almost 6 months, right? Almost 6 months, and that means almost 6 months from this point here, and that means a lot. That means it has started almost in February, right? In February 2023, which is here, which is almost the start of the impulse, right? Since the start of this impulse, this is again the strongest buying point, and therefore, of course, the possibility to go higher because of this volume, and we did not see any stronger selling signal than this so far. So yeah, the possibilities are really, really strong that we move up for a bullish scenario. Even if I go a little bit far with the daily candles, we can see, of course, another signal, which it was here before. So we see double buying, stronger buying signal there, where you can see here the signal of your wave 3. Remember, this is your 1, 2. In your wave 2, you got more buyers here, where it has moved up your wave 3, as those buyers were over this volume already, right? Therefore, it has moved so massively. And now we got some sellers, and now we get again after our wave 4, we get a very, very strong volume of buyers for our wave 5. So that works perfectly with our impulse, right? Where you see here your start of the impulse as a wave 1, which it should be impulsive, right? Impulsive wave. Then corrective, where we see just sellers. Then wave 3, where you want to have a massive buying point, right, as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave 3. On your top of your wave 3, you're gonna see again a lot of sellers, right, for your wave 4. Once your wave 4 is finished, you're gonna get a very massive, strong buying point again. And here we go. This is what we get. Now, of course, there is some sellers who coming later on. Here we go. If I go back with this, even here, the whole range was still very buyers until here. So we got a signal, selling signal here, right, over there, where we fall down a little bit lately, right, which is a 57 days. This is only the strongest selling signal since a 57. It means since 1 month or 2 months. Yeah, let's say 2 months. So since September, so we are talking here about September, August, right? September, August, and July, right? So if this is the strongest signal since July, in July we have still a stronger point here as buyers, right? Here we go. These signals are even still stronger than this selling signals. And therefore, this indicators, of course, after analyzing it really good and so on, you realize that, of course, then we are still very, very bullish, right? Even without analyzing, I mean, this indicator shows you already the strongest signal so far, unless we get a new bearish signal, like more than 180 days candles, right? If I get a tomorrow or tonight a signal here on the 174, I would say, okay, we're not done yet with wave 4, and yeah, we're going for lower prices, right? But so far everything works well, as you can see on the 4-hour chart here. On the 4-hour chart, we can see as well the strong signals of buyers. Now, of course, we, as I said, we saw some signals here of selling. However, of course, some buying signal will appear, right? Here we go. Okay. However, of course, the selling signal is strong here. I'm not saying it is not, but however, look, it has been broken. And don't forget that there is a volume already there, here especially, which are still waiting to move towards the upside. Okay, so if we even go a little bit back here, so more buyers are getting in over these volumes. And how do we know this? Because if you look at this, you will see that this is a very strong buying point, right? Then we move up. Then some sellers came in, and then we moved down. However, when you move down, we didn't move lower than the first point. By all means, those buyers here did not sold yet. They are still in the market, but more buyers comes in. Therefore, we went even higher. Then, of course, other sellers get in, right? Then we move down. Then other buyers comes in before getting the low, right? And that means that now we're adding more buyers even over those two strong volumes already. By all means, what I want to say, I'm very bullish still. Okay, I have to be clear, guys. I mean, this indicator is clear already, so this is what that's why I developed it, to be much more clearer and to give signal earlier than ever, right? So I am very clear. I'm very bullish so far until I get a signal which is stronger than the signal here. Once I get a bearish signal on 175, therefore I would be bearish. And of course, I would gladly tell it on this channel, of course, always, to make sure that you guys get always the updates. So going back to our chart here, I just want to move to other indicators a little bit fast here. To be honest, I didn't find really something interesting on the RSI. Let's start with the RSI, for example. to be honest, yeah, on the daily, on the weekly, there is nothing really interesting. It's just ranging here on the weekly, where we can see just, yeah, I mean, there is no divergences, there is no convergences. I don't see any signal. The only signal that I found is only on the 1 hour chart, where I found only this divergence signal, where you can see here a low price and here a higher low, right? We see a low price and a higher low, and here on the RSI you see a higher low but a lower low, right? Which creating a divergence, and this divergence means, of course, a more bullish, right? More higher prices, okay? Because the RSI is going down while the price is going higher. And with this signal, of course, yes, we start to see some higher prices. Now, I don't know if this is gonna be considered as played already. So it could be played already. We could have a little bit, I mean, we should take this price at least, right? We should take this price with this divergence. If not, I don't know, and then it could be played. However, I don't really trust this more than Elliott Wave. And by the way, regarding Elliott Wave in this scenario, if we are bullish, we are looking then to a formation of a 1-2, right? A 1-2, and possibly another 1-2, right? And then possibly tonight we might start to see some higher prices and higher, right? So we're gonna see, we're gonna watch what's gonna, if it is corrective, yeah, then we might see lower prices after it, however. Okay, so this is for RSI. The MACD could be interesting. The MACD shows some nice indications, where you can see in this whole range, guys, which looks for us a little bit corrective, but to be honest, on MACD it looks very, very bullish. Okay, because you see a very high amount, stable amount of volume for buyers, getting higher even a little bit, right? As you can see, while the selling, or yeah, the seller's volume is getting lower from this point, exactly from this low. So you can see that the volume of the sellers is getting lower, and yeah, while the volume of the buyers is getting higher. And by the way, we are very close to start, of course, some yeah, higher volume for buyers regarding this 1 hour chart. Now on the 4 hour chart, yeah, on the 4 hour chart, it says, of course, that the volume of the buyers is ending. However, don't forget your trade, your trend here, right? Which is very close to cross the zero again towards the upside, where you're gonna have a very low amount of sellers and then move up again, right? So that could be very, very possible. On the daily chart, we can see even the daily is yeah, is turning to a light volume color. So as we said before, I already analyzed this, if you remember, guys. So we already said that yes, this might turn with a very low amount of volume and then move up higher and higher. As you can see also the cross here, it can just, this can work as a support here, the zero, and then move up again. Even if it doesn't move up so much, guys, a volume like this can be more than enough, to be honest, to finish your wave 5. Okay, now it could be, okay, not very massive and not very strong as for 100k, but we could get a higher high only by having this small amount of volume here for the daily candle. Now the nice signal, the most nice signal on the MACD is on the weekly, where your weekly is showing that, okay, we have ended. We made almost 3 waves here for the weekly, and yeah, it says, okay, like I'm done with the weekly, it's time to go up, right? And I think here where this has started to work as a resistance, we might see some ranging here and a little bit a higher volume for the weekly, giving us a little bit higher high, and possibly that we get a higher high than the last one. So by all means, so yeah, MACD is very bullish, to be honest, is very bullish, especially on the weekly and on the 1 hour chart. Now on the 4 hour chart, it might be a little bit shaky, but it can even go higher even from there. It can make another wave. Nobody knows with MACD, right? So these are the things. Now the Bollinger Bands is also interesting on the lower time frames, like the 1 hour and the 4 hour, where we can see the price action is ranging in the upper side of the Bollinger Band, which is a nice signal where we can range even higher and higher and test, of course, the upper band. For the 1 hour chart is the same and is getting squeezed. Of course, when you are ranging like this in the weekend, the Bollinger Band squeeze, right? And of course, after this squeeze, you want to see it, to see some movement after it, right? It's some very strong movement towards the upside or towards the downside, stretching this, Bollinger Band again, as you can see here. Each time it happens when some trend move on, right? So let's see what's gonna happen starting from tonight. And as I mentioned yesterday in the deep analysis, it might be a very interesting week that we are having now, because this week is gonna be massive, I think, because we're gonna see one of the scenarios working. I think the bearish or the bullish, the bigger bearish or the bigger bullish. I have some indication that we might be on the move for a big scenario this week, and that because we have a scarce scenarios that on our table. And when this happens, guys, when we have scarce scenarios, okay, this make us very close for the big scenarios, all right? This make us close for the 100K or for the cycle correction, okay? One of these scenarios are going to show up this week. And of course, it's not necessarily that it should be played that we reach 100K this week. I don't mean this. What I mean is that we will get a clear signal in which scenario we are heading. Okay. So what I mean here, if we get higher prices, okay, and we reach this diagonal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, if we reach this diagonal and we finish it here as ABC, okay, of course we might see a rejection, but the possibility goes even higher for 100K. Why? Because this will eliminate your bearish scenario, the small bearish scenarios, which is this one, wave C, which here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave C, looking for an expanding flat. If we see higher prices, this one will be eliminated, so therefore it will be eliminated. Then if this happens, if this happens, of course, then it will be eliminated because we finish it, right, with a higher prices. After this, you still have just one scenario between the 100K, right, which is the zigzag. So in case we see impulse again, that means we are forming a final zigzag to finish a WXY, right, a WXY, yes, WX and Y. Okay, this is your expanding flat, this is your zigzag, then your zigzag will finish exactly here. So when you want to have a zigzag, you want to see an impulse towards the downside. So therefore, this is the only scenario now which is gonna stand between us and the 100K. And after that, we are definitely looking for 100K because WXY is ended and then definitely moving towards the upside. So therefore, bullish, still bullish. That's why I'm saying, okay, one of these scenarios will appear if it is bearish or not. Now, if we go down, okay, for 5 waves towards the downside, therefore, of course, this one is finished. This one we cannot consider anymore because it is invalidated. We cannot get a diagonal. And therefore, we might have finished a WXY. A WXY by having, of course, A, B, and a C, and then A, B, C. 1 second. This is the last ABC. So yeah, running flat. ABC and ABC as running flat, right? In that case scenario, we have finished WXY and again bullish, unless we get lower. If we get lower, therefore, of course, we are in a correction cycle. So therefore, I'm saying now this week is gonna decide where we are going. If we finish a wave C, possibly we are still bullish after WXY finished. If we see lower prices than this, definitely we are in a correction, guys, in a cycle correction. If we move higher from here without reaching the low, which means 1212 still, then guys, of course, we are 100K scenario. So that's it for today. Sorry for the long video again, but you know, this weekend I will not do any videos more than analyzing deep analysis and indicators analysis. So thank you for your likes. Thank you for your comments. Be careful of the scammers again in the comment section. And I wish you to have a nice weekend, which is almost finished. But yeah, enjoy your time. Enjoy your last day of the weekend. See you in the next videos. Bye-bye.